So I don't actually have really any scripture to get to today. So I just showed up here. I was going to show up on the World Mission Society Church of God site, but I didn't want them copyright striking me or something, as they do. So yeah, I'm here. What does the Bible say about God as mother? And here's verses. That's about what we got. So today I'm talking about a World Mission Society Church of God. It could otherwise be called the Mother God cult. I mean, you're not going to really find anything if you look that up, because what cult is really going to call themselves a cult? But they're a cult down to some pretty, deep definitions. Some people don't like Mormonism or Jehovah's Witnesses being called cults for whatever reason. I mean, they are cults. Scholarly definition, a group that calls themselves Christianity that is not. And on a creepy definition, they're also cults. That's another video for another time. They're just not, they're not like sacrificing virgins or whatever. Though neither is World Mission Society Church of God. But there's some, you're about ready to hear some messed up stuff. Maybe not today for the video, but I'm going to be making some videos about them. I also think I'm going to leave a link to Pastor Mike Winger, his interview of a guy that lost his daughter to this cult. Yeah. So there's a case they make. By the way, you can't find any of these people's books at all. I mean, you can, but I mean, find me a copy. Find me a copy of those books. You can't really do it because they all get bought up. They don't let you get them because they don't want you to see the forbidden knowledge. Ooh, creepy of what it actually teaches. So I don't have a book here, but I got things they say. They're a group, they show up on college campuses and stuff. But yeah. So I will get started. There's a case they make. Like most groups, they're not really into making cases a whole lot, but here's one. God the Father. The basis of this group is God the Mother. And that their case they make for that is, if there's God the Father, there must be God the Mother. In order for a child to exist. So let me turn real quick to Genesis. Genesis 2:7. And the Lord God formed man of the dust of the ground and breathed into his nostrils the breath of life, and man became a living soul. So riddle me this. Was there a God the Father and God the Mother? Or was there just God the Father that made man in his own image? There was God the Father that made man in his own image. But let's ignore that for a second, because these people are going to do that, and something about Council of Nicaea and corruption of the gospel, Mary Magdalene, Jesus' wife, whatever, Bart Ehrman, whatever sort of thing. Cults don't really like the Bible, and this one's no exception. Let's say that, they ignore that. They don't really show it in the Bible. Or no, I think they do. You can go ahead and look up God the Mother. I had that list. There's nothing. But here's what they say. They say if there's God the Father, there must be God the Mother. Because that's how, that's how that works. Now, well, that doesn't have to be true at all. God's not like a biological father. I think that's pretty clear. He just makes people. He just made a person, and then he made a woman, and then they had kids, and so on and so forth. Genesis 1 and 2, my sources. But let's look at it that way. Let's pretend the Bible isn't here, and or it's, Paul just missed a letter or something, or decided, it's a good day to smoke weed and not write the Bible, or I don't have a clue. Maybe I'll make a video of the preservation of the Bible. Why don't I do that next video? Anyways, either way, let's say there's God the Father, there must be God the Mother. So if that's true, there's God the Father, there must be God the Mother. Then doesn't there need to be God the grandfather? God the grandmother? Because did they just pop into existence? If we need God the Mother? Doesn't there need to be God the grandfather, God the grandmother on God the mother's side, God the grandfather, God the grandmother on the father's side? And then don't we just need to keep going back? God the great-grandfather, God the great-grandmother on the grandfather's side, or on the father's side, God the great-grandfather, God the great-grandmother on the mother's side. And then we just keep going back generations, until there was God the God that made everything. And then does he have a mother? I mean, how far back does this go? Do we just keep going on? We just keep forever? Was reality like this? Was there, God the Jesus the God, the great, whatever, God grandfather that was Jesus that died on the cross in this God universe? How far back does this go? Is there like however many levels? Was God the Big Bang? Did that happen? Did it make everything? Sooner or later, nothing works ever. And you're just making up words pretty much. It's pretty clear from the Bible. I know you don't like the Bible, except for when you can use it for your advantage. That's how they work. But it just doesn't work. It just doesn't work in any way, shape, or form. They try to make it work, it doesn't. And that's the thing about this group. These people are wrong, but they're not stupid. This is how they generally work. Let me just share a little bit. So I pretty easily debunked one of their arguments, but that they'll show up to people on a college campus or whatever, and and they're really nice people. That's the thing. They're really nice people. The Mormons are really nice people, so on and so forth. These aren't people that these are false prophets. These are false prophets. These are false witnesses, but they show up and they're nice. Mormon, like the Mormon missionaries I've known, some of the nicest people. To the point where it actually gets kind of fake. But, in some cases, but, Satan is appealing. Satan is appealing, otherwise no one would follow him. Sin is appealing, otherwise no one would do it. And, they try to be tricky, but, they're teaching evil. They're teaching evil, blasphemy, so on and so, evil apostasy, so on and so forth. Why don't I just pull up the Isaiah verse again? Isaiah 44, verse 6. Thus saith the Lord, the King of Israel and his Redeemer, the Lord of hosts. I am the first and I am the last, and beside me there is no God. There is one God. There is no mother. There's one God. So on one hand, we have the teaching of the Bible that there is one God, that there is the world was created. Adam, mankind was created. It was created, wasn't given birth. It was created. There doesn't need to be a God, the mother. There's only one God. And you have how humans were created written down, or you have this weird sort of linguistic argument, this weird sort of way of twisting it that doesn't even hold up to scrutiny when you think about it. I mean, you see what I'm going at? You can't really, it doesn't work. So, and they know this. That's not really their strategy. It can just maybe trip you up for a second. So they can do things like that. It's important if you're talking to these people to stay focused and to stay like kind of zero in on this thing and focus on it and just get a little water, staying hydrated. And to finish the conversation if you end up talking to these people. So, but they'll get people and they'll get them to go to an 8-hour Bible study, like an all-day thing. They're like I said, they're incredibly nice. They just they love bomb. Like they'll just, if you show up, you're the nicest, coolest, best looking whatever person in the room, and they just start dropping bombs on you like that, and yeah. And then immediately, by the way, their little pickup line phrase, a little phrase that they have, if you ask questions, all will be revealed. All will be revealed. You'll find out. They just say that, and then they, like the Mormons will be like, oh, take it on faith, which is actually another good video. I just keep coming up with these video ideas off the top of my head. I'm like, yeah, I was gonna do that. But anyways, like they'll say that and whatever. This group has, all will be revealed. You'll find out, and they never tell you. Yeah. What they do is they lay heavy fire and brimstone. Everything you've ever known is a lie, sort of things about right off the bat. They get you in, and they get you just, you're going to hell. Everyone's going to hell. Whoever is, and then you ask any questions, and they're like, that's what am I looking for? That's a heathen. They're a false prophet. They're working for Satan. They're trying to take you away here, sort of thing. They do that right away. You ask any questions, it's like, all will be revealed. You just got to trust me. You got to commit. You got to whatever before you're even, you get baptized. And I was hearing a thing the other day, getting, these people didn't even hear about the Mother God. They didn't even know what kind of group they're getting into. Didn't even know what kind of group they're getting baptized into until they're getting baptized and they hear the name of Mother God. That's the first time they hear the name as they're getting baptized. And they run this group out of fear. They scream your head off. They, whatever else. I don't know if they literally scream your head off. I'll say that. But they just immediately start doing stuff. And they don't really give you time to think, and they don't encourage you to think. And then they, as good cults do, they just rule from there. They just take everything, they just manipulate you, get you in. And then they, it's hardcore. And there's, in the video I'll put in the description, there's people that they're like, I'd rather be in hell with their family, than I would be in a cult. So they still believe. They'd rather be in hell or whatever. So it's even less about the belief because they've just been pounded so quick and so fast. Here's some of the things that they say. Um, Let me see if I can actually find it. Protestant is a prostitute. This is not their site, by the way. This is, I don't know, this is some weird, like, dirty joke site or something. So they say, they're like a Protestant equals prostitute. You can't follow them because a Protestant is a prostitute. And then you see, it's a secret code. It's a secret code. And they've hidden it. They're a bunch of hookers. All these churches are a bunch of hookers. Because of the name. And I mean, let's even for this. What a weak case. I don't know. Is Protestant? Wasn't it like? Let me see. Was it America? I think it was America. Let me just look that up. Oh, he was German. Protestant originates from the Latin word prostri, meaning declare, public, testify, protest. It's not even close to the same word. It's something completely different. Then why don't you take a look at the spelling real quick? You can't even make the word prostitute out of Protestant. Can you even sound it out of it? Prostitute. Let me see. Protentistute. Nope. So yeah. Better luck next time, boys. Satan equals Santa. I mean, that spells the same thing. I know, like, Satan is the Hebrew. It, like, goes back to, like, adversary. Santa is, like, let me look that up. Santa's Dutch for, like, saint or some variation, like not even close. And I mean, even then, let's even say that is real, which it's not, but let's just have a little fun. Let's say that is real. So they have, similar names. I don't know. What does that even, how does that even apply? It's like, so people, I don't know, have like a stuffed Santa or watch a Christmas movie or something? Are they going to hell because the name is the same, or what does that even have to do with the Bible or Christianity? I don't even, yeah. Not a lot of thought put into that. But if you're screaming it out for 8 hours, if you're hitting people with a bunch of fear real quick, a bunch of manipulation, basically. In abusive situations, people will do that. They will, they'll try to get people into fear and stuff like that. A lot of these groups, they do like abusive. And the way this group runs, they don't let you talk to anybody. It's like you just stay here. Whatever else. But so yeah. So here's something to look at. World Mission Society. I'll get to that in a minute. So, yeah, so this group, they like to target people. I know nobody actually knows who I am because I don't show my face and I don't have my name here. But people like to target this group. That's why I didn't show the thing in the beginning. They like to sue people. They like to character assassinate. They like to take videos down, so on and so forth. Whatever they can do. So if this video gets taken down for whatever reason, whoever's watching this, remember that. Just keep that in mind if it happens. So, and I'm going to be making some more videos about them. If you are World Mission Society Church of God, just think about these things real quick. Think about them. No, don't ignore like the forbidden knowledge. Just think about them. Yeah. Now I'm gonna, and also maybe think about this before I end the video. Let's use their logic. Society, church. World Mission Society Church of God, right? Let's swap the letters around. You're exposed. I exposed you. I showed the world what a fake cult you are.